Is weightlifting dangerous for kids? Does it stunt their growth? Does it provide any benefits for them? If weightlifting is really safe and beneficial for kids, at what age can they start it? And what is the best way to start a youth strength training program? Scary questions, right? In this video, we'll deep dive into the science of weight training for prepubescent and pubescent children and address these specific questions in detail. Coming up. For many years, the use of resistance training to increase muscular strength and endurance in prepubescent and adolescent boys and girls was controversial. Kids were discouraged from using free weights for fear that they might injure them or interfere with their growth process. Some parents fear weightlifting may stunt their children's growth, causing the growth plates in their bones to fracture or fuse together prematurely. Well, the truth is, there's no evidence supporting this claim unless the kid is left unsupervised using improper weightlifting techniques. According to the American College of Sports Medicine, a growth plate fracture from lifting weights correctly hasn't been reported in any research study. Growth plates, which determine the size of the bones in children and adolescents, are vulnerable to fractures and breaks since they are found at the ends of the bones. Damaging them can alter the length of the bone to which they are attached, causing an imbalance in the length of these bones, perhaps making one leg shorter than the other. Now, in order to stunt your growth, the growth plates need to be seriously damaged. The only way this can happen in weight training is if the weights make a hard impact against any of your growth plates, which normally happens as a result of poor form, using heavy weights, and a lack of supervision. Since this is a rare possibility being a kid, chances are you are completely safe weightlifting. However, you do need to follow precautions and proper technique at all times to ensure maximum safety. Another misconception is the belief that weightlifting is dangerous and may increase the risk of injury like muscle strains and joint sprains. Now, of course, there are risks associated with all types of physical activity, but research shows well-devised and supervised strength training programs actually cause fewer injuries than general sports, according to Dr. Avery Feigenbaum, an author, professor, and expert in the field of pediatric exercise science. Your kid is more susceptible for injury playing soccer, baseball, or gymnastics than lifting weights. For example, one study found that injury rate for weightlifting was 0.013 injuries per 1,000 practice hours compared to 1.3 injuries per 1,000 hours for soccer. In other words, your kid is 100 times more likely to get injured playing soccer than lifting weights. What's more, according to a study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research, hands and feet are the most common parts kids injure while weightlifting by accidentally dropping weights, hurting their fingers from dumbbells, or pinching them in the machines. However, these accidents are preventable with increased supervision and stricter safety guidelines. The bottom line is, it is absolutely safe for young athletes to lift weights, provided they do so correctly in proper form and under a well-devised supervised program. Now, apart from being safe, youth strength training provides a heap of neurological, musculoskeletal, psychological, and physiological benefits. A number of studies conducted on both children and adolescents have clearly demonstrated the effectiveness of resistance training in increasing strength. Prepubescent strength gains are largely not due to any changes in muscle size, rather improvements in neural mechanisms, including improved motor skill coordination, increased motor unit activation, and other neurological adaptations. Adolescent strength gains, on the other hand, result primarily from both neural adaptations and increases in muscle size. These early strength gains are crucial as they enhance children's performance in other sports and have long-term effect on their development. This doesn't only develop their training age early, but also offer an early window of opportunity for them to develop habits and train their systems to become good at something, which propels their confidence and self-esteem to improve their quality of life and achieve more success for the future. Psychologically, strength training for kids can also reduce stress and anxiety, boost mood, and improve sleep hygiene. There's also evidence of significant bone growth as a result of weight training, above that seen with normal growth. Dr. Feigenbaum once said, "While you can increase bone strength as an adult, the gains you get during childhood are much greater." Finally, youth weight training can improve body composition by controlling weight and reducing fat, and help promote healthy blood pressure and cholesterol levels. Now, you may be wondering, when can kids start weightlifting to reap all these benefits? During childhood, kids improve their body awareness, control, and balance through free active play, which exposes them to a variety of basic motor skills and feats of strength. When asked about the ideal age to start weight training, Dr. Feigenbaum said, "Any age is a good age, but there does seem to be something special about the time from about age 7 to 12. The nervous system is very plastic, the kids are very eager. It seems to be an ideal time to hardwire strength gains and movement patterns." According to experts, as early as age 7 or 8, strength training can become an invaluable part of an overall fitness plan, as long as a child is ready for it by demonstrating movement capability, mental readiness, and enough maturity or ability to listen, follow instructions, and practice proper technique and form. Now, at this age, the goal is not about following a structured training program, lifting more weights, and looking like a bodybuilder. Rather, emphasizing the basics and building a solid foundation by learning proper movement form and technique so children can safely develop their motor skills, youth strength, and conditioning. As a parent, you should never force weightlifting on your child. Instead, encourage it as soon as they show interest and make sure it is done in a playful and fun way in order to instill interest and a lifelong love of fitness in them. Kids at this age should be supervised by a qualified, experienced, and certified strength coach who understands youth development and goals. They should focus first on using their own body weight, elastic bands, or medicine balls for resistance and strength, before moving on to more weight. The coach should meticulously review their proper form and technique, particularly for fundamental movements like lunges, deadlifts, squats, bench press, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, and planks, to help them master these exercises and improve their spatial awareness, core stability, hip mobility, posture, balance, coordination, and overall body strength, making weight progression easier for future. Now, while it's perfectly fine to let the kids do a few sets of deadlifts or squats with some light weights using small dumbbells, or a 5 kg 11-pound barbell with small or micro plates, they shouldn't be put on a regimented progressive training program until they reach stage 4 on the Tanner puberty scale, which usually starts between ages 11 and 17, depending on how early the child develops sexual maturity signs. This is because a child under this stage still doesn't have enough androgen concentrations from testosterone hormone to pack on real muscle, drive progress, and recover properly from session to session. At stage 4, however, the focus may begin to shift from technique and movement to building strength with a progressive weightlifting program. During this time, you introduce regular training that progressively adds load to each session. Ideally, you should keep reps high and increase weight gradually. One study that looked at youth weight training found that 1 to 2 sets with 6 to 15 reps per set was ideal for young children. Your kid should always be able to do 10 reps without much strain, otherwise the weight has to be reduced. Once your kid can easily do 15 reps of an exercise while incurring enough muscle fatigue but without going to failure, you increase the weight by 5 to 10%. It is also important that kids partake in programs that mix weightlifting with other activities such as running and swimming. They should also be encouraged to begin each strength training session with 5 to 10 minutes of light aerobic activity, such as walking, jogging in place, or jumping rope. This warms the muscles and prepares them for more vigorous activity. Gentle stretching after each session is a good idea too. Finally, a child should rest at least 1 full day between exercising each specific muscle group, and his workout routine should be varied to prevent boredom. That's all about it, guys. Now let's recap what we have covered in this video. It is absolutely safe for young athletes to lift weights, provided they do so correctly in proper form and under a well-devised, supervised program. Youth strength training provides a heap of neurological, musculoskeletal, psychological, and physiological benefits. Training for kids should be done in a fun and playful way and should be mixed with other activities. Training for kids under stage 4 of the Tanner puberty scale should emphasize movement form and technique using own body weight, elastic bands, medicine balls, or any other form of lightweight. Training for kids at stage 4 of the Tanner puberty scale can follow a progressive, weightlifting program to build more strength and muscles. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please like and share, and don't forget to subscribe. If you're looking for a complete self-educational training guide that teaches you step by step how to customize your workout and meal plans, please visit my website. Also check out my next 2 suggested videos on how to pick the best protein powder that's right for you and how to accurately calculate the calories you need to burn fat without losing muscle.